What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a Madden 25 video. Please do me a favor, take a moment, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel. Of course, your criticism in the comment section. As always, follow me on Twitter. My username is Shutdown Safety. Obviously, it's been a busy day for my channel. I want to thank each and every one of you, whether you love me or hate me right now, that have supported me over the years to put me in the position I was in. I want to thank EA Sports for inviting me to Community Day this year and allowing me to partake in it, and of course providing me an early release copy of Madden 25, which, as many of you should realize by now, the embargo lifted today, and I followed suit with 4 videos. Hopefully some of those videos quenched the thirst for those of you who felt that my channel would fall apart and completely change based on my interactions with EA Sports, and hopefully, to many of you, you realize that those videos are a precursor to what my channels continue to be about as we move forward. Now, with that said, I would welcome the opportunity to go back down to EA Sports. I was honored by going down there this year and playing a small part in the Madden franchise, but in terms of my impressions of this game, it's hard to look at this game and not think of the entire console, because this is basically it. And in my opinion, when we look at the Xbox 360 or the PS3, I don't know how it's not a universal conclusion that EA failed to deliver a total football package on this console. Now, that doesn't mean there isn't improvements in Madden 25. There certainly are. I'm going to speak about them at length this year. I hope that if you do purchase the game, if you do rent the game, you find solace in knowing that they're there and you enjoy them. I also understand and respect that to some of you it's too little too late. You've waited for these changes for too long, and the fact that they're here now doesn't matter because you've left the franchise 3 years ago. I also understand that some of you are disappointed and frustrated that many of the inclusions of this year's game were simply things that have been replaced by things that were excluded from years past. Franchise mode, owner mode being some of those options. But that can't change where we are right now. To me, Madden 25 plays better than the games that fell before it on this console. That doesn't mean that it's a perfect game. As I've said in my other videos, it's certainly not a clone of 2K5, but I don't know what we're looking for as a community in a football game, and I think that's something, as we continue to grow, we're going to have to find. And I think part of that finding is going to be envisioning and determining what simulation football means to each one of us, because I think as we continue to evolve, we realize sim football isn't one thing. It's individual things to individual people. I spoke with Big Play Killer this afternoon, and we had the discussion of what does simulation football mean. I mean, both me and him have played outside levels of high school football, and we're familiar with game planning, we're familiar with playbooks, we're familiar with defensive personnel, offensive personnel, coding. Are those things you really want in your game? Do you want to have to sit through 20 questions that you have to answer correctly about your opponent before you can advance to Wednesday, where you're going to have to create a faux pas injury report? I just don't think if any of us really knew, and I don't myself, nor does he, what went into an NFL football game on a weekly basis, we would want simulation football. Because football is 90% on the book and 10% on the field. I think a lot of us tend to forget these are professional football players we're trying to replicate here, and certainly none of us would find any fun in their jobs other than maybe loading up a game and throwing a ball around and running around as fast as we can on a Sunday. That's a topic for another video, but overall my impressions of Madden 25 changes were good. But that doesn't mean that the legacy issues that have continued to plague this game are not still there, continue to be problematic, and as maybe you've seen in the videos I've put out before, which again I recommend, I'll link in the description, that you go individually watch, aren't still continuing to hamper any progress that's been made, but that does not mean that the progress has not been there. So, appreciate you guys taking time to check out this video. Of course, I'll be back in the week with more content. I would really hesitate to say you'd see a video on this channel fresh before Monday, but you never know. I've recently upgraded my equipment. I still continue to not use a PVR. I feel it's not the way to go, and I think maybe on down the road I'm going to kind of show you guys a video of exactly the setup, quote-unquote, I have, which is really a dedicated room just to football gaming, and hopefully you guys will enjoy that. Appreciate you guys taking time to check out this video, and again, the support throughout the years. I'll be back in the week with more content.